LTTV, Blunt Talk with LT, back at it with another video. All right, so this one. Kevin Samuels exposed by a YouTuber. The YouTuber's channel goes by The Saint and Sinner. The exposed video was about a year ago. Then he pulled up in person to see Kevin Samuels. A lot of people are saying this is an L for Kevin Samuels. A lot of people are saying this is an L for Saint and the Sinner. So let's break this down. Hold on, y'all. So we're going to get into the video of the exposed video, the initial video that Saint and Sinner released a year ago, exposing Kevin Samuels. And then we're going to get into the video where he pulls up on Kevin Samuels. We don't actually have the video of him pulling up. It's him reacting to his picture of him pulling up. So he did a video exposing Kevin Samuels. Then he met Kevin Samuels in person and took a friendly picture. We're going to have that on the screen shortly. So let's get into this.
The young man reached out to me and said, Marquette, I get such good business advice from
All right, here we go.
You and Kevin Samuels. I'd love to see you two do a collaboration video. Turns out he's not even a businessman. How in the hell you giving people business advice and you haven't started one business? So now I gotta roast him. Why is that? Because I'm a hater? No, on the contrary. I gotta roast him because if young men are coming to you with their dreams and they're asking you how to become an entrepreneur and you're feeding them lies, oh, to me, that's a problem. And by the way, just a quick side note. For all of you nerds on the internet who are watching this right now, like, oh man, he hating.
All right, so y'all, by the end of the exposing video, we are going to take a poll. Pause. Yikes. But, yo, everything is zesty when you take it in. Pause. We're gonna put ones in the chat if you're Kevin Samuels and you will take a picture with him after the exposing video. Actually, nah. If you won't take a picture with him, put ones in the chat after we see this exposing video. If you would, leave a 2 in the chat.
Right now. You guys call yourselves alpha males, but as soon as you see the big dog have to slap a few pups, then you get sensitive. Oh, you a beta male. You a simp. Look here, youngin. Let's just call me the apex predator. And you know what my favorite thing to hunt is? My favorite thing to hunt are fake alpha males, like Kevin Samuels. People who are poisoning the youth and misguiding them. First and foremost, if you're a businessman, you should have started some businesses. We should be able to read about your companies in the media. So check it out. Put in, quote, Kevin Samuels, end quote. And then use Google to search for news. There literally are only 2 news articles on this man from media. He is a fraud. No businessman can do business and only have 2 news articles on them. That's ridiculous. This year has been mostly ruined by COVID-19, and I got 2 business articles on me. Why? Because I'm actually a businessman. This man is out there impersonating other people's identity. He is an image consultant, which makes perfect sense because he's all image, smoke and mirrors, all appearance, no substance. Now, why is that important? Because in the age of the internet, people can pretend to be all kinds of things while being nothing. And that's fine. I would let him go on with his lies, except for the fact that there are young men who are in ghettos. There are young men who are in poverty who want to be something great, and they're looking at this fraud thinking that he can show them the way and show them the light when really he is misguiding them because he is misguided. And he who is misguided can only misguide. This dude is such a fraud that when you Google his name and you click the news filter, it's from Oklahoma. No disrespect to anybody, but who in the fuck cares about Oklahoma? Anybody could get in the news on Oklahoma. Why? Because it's Oklahoma. Is he in the news for being a business owner, being a CEO? No. He's in the news for being a fashion consultant, for being a personal shopper. You know, a grown-ass man would never be a personal shopper. My OG, Jewish guy named Rick, his wife, who's a 25.
A little bit of a little bit of delay here, a little bit of lag, so we're just gonna let it catch up. All right, let's get it.
5-year-old Colombian chick, she's a personal shopper. Why? Because that's something that rich guys let their wives do so they can pretend they have a job. Being a personal shopper is not a goddamn job. And further, how is he a life coach or a lifestyle coach if he's teaching you that what you're wearing matters so much? It doesn't. That's how you know he's a phony. He's concerned with the image, the exterior, not the reality, because his reality is filled with falsehood. How do we know? Take a look at his LinkedIn profile. Here's the kicker. He hasn't even had a proper job. Look on his LinkedIn. 2 of the companies don't even have profile photos because they're fake.
All right, let's actually look at this. But this is from a year ago. I'm pretty sure he updated this now. Nonetheless, yeah, there's no photo here. There's photo here. Personal shopping, private styling, personal and corporate image consulting based in Atlanta by Kevin Samuels is an image consulting company. So it's by him. This is his own company. Okay. Inside advertising internet sales representative. This was years ago.
Companies. Furthermore, trip on this. At the companies he did work at, Yellow Pages, and if you're old enough, you know the Yellow Pages used to be a big, thick-ass book, a directory where people would look up phone numbers and look up information.
We don't care.
Let me tell you.
We don't care.
It's hard for me to do this because I don't really give a shit about any of this shit, but let's get into it.
Information for businesses before the internet came out, right? It's an old company. I'm shocked it's still alive. You could tell he's an old nigga. And when he worked for the company, he didn't even have a high-ranking position. He didn't even do much in sales. So where does he get off giving business advice to young people? Hurts my heart. So if someone comes to me and they want to talk business, I can give them advice because I've actually run multiple companies in many industries. So that's my identity. Now, if someone came to me and asked me about something I don't know about, I would refer them to an expert in that industry or that field. So for example, if you came to me right now and you said, Marquette, I want to figure out how to be a fake motherfucker and lie to young men and make up shit and pretend to be things I'm not. I say, oh, you got to go to Kevin Samuels. He is an expert in that area, ladies and gentlemen. Well, how are you a fashion expert when you shop off the rack? Off the rack. My nigga in Macy's like getting stuff off the rack, but you're a fashion expert. If you're a fashion expert, you might have did what I did, which is to fly to Dubai and meet with your clothier and walk into a fabric store and pick out a fabric such as this one and have a suit made from scratch such as this one. That's
What?
See, I'm not a fashion expert. I wouldn't wear some shit like that. Those loud colors. Let's get back into it.
when you really know fashion further. I have a bunch of different fashion products I've created. Women's wrap skirts, men's boxing shoes, men's velvet slippers, men's travel vests, men's shirts, all sorts of things. I'm a fashion expert because I've created products and services in the fashion industry. Kevin Samuels, he's like 70 years old and he's created all of 0 businesses in the fashion industry, yet he's a fashion expert. That's mind-boggling. How does that work out? You're gonna let someone on the internet say there's something and you're gonna believe them just because they said it? I encourage you, do your research. But in this case, you don't have to because I've already done it for you. Let me tell you some more of Kevin Samuels' lies.
Joe Collins, that suit is trash though. That's what I was saying.
If you don't get that bullshit out of my face, bitch.
I wouldn't wear that, but I'm not a fashion expert. He's a fashion expert. He has businesses in the field, so I guess he knows. But personally, I wouldn't wear that shit. Let's get back into it.
Go to his website. Now, if you're a business businessman, you should sell all kinds of products and services. I know I do. I clicked his website and then we clicked products, right? If you're a businessman, you have products. Under products, there were no fucking products. What in the hell is this? Where are the products at? You a business guy. You got a whole TV show on YouTube where you're giving business advice. This man is a fraud. Never trust.
Hold on. We dealt with some lag here.
Where are the products at? You a business guy. You got a whole TV show on YouTube where you're giving business advice. This man is a fraud. Never trust anyone on YouTube whose primary job is as a YouTuber. Think about it. We went to his website.
Crowned King of France T8. You shouldn't wear that, or you wouldn't wear that, but you would wear stupid grills on your teeth. Looks dumb. Well, you're watching.
If you don't get that bullshit out of my face, bitch.
If I said myself personally, I wouldn't wear something because I don't like it, and your response is you don't like my grills, it looks stupid, but you're watching the show.
What?
Ain't nobody got time for that. These nuts. Ha! Got him! Got him!
You know, his words. And he wrote that he's a keynote speaker. So we went ahead and just went back to Google, which is a great reference point. Not everything's on Google, but a whole lot of things are on Google. We typed in Kevin Samuels' name. And then we went to images. All his goddamn photos are like fraudulent, staged photos of him posing. Posing where? In random stores. He's posing in random clothing stores, which you could do that, I could do that. He doesn't own the store.
Kevin Samuels did a good job of owning or taking over. Look, I'm giving an objective breakdown here. I don't know this nigga right here, so it is what it is. But Kevin Samuels controlled the search engine with the most professional pictures with his Google SEO. So to be able to pull that off, everything is professional suits when you search it right now. If you search Kevin Samuels and you go images, it is all professional pictures. That is search engine optimization. That's what that is. Can't hate on that.
Did I see a single photo of him giving a speech? Not one.
Hold on, y'all. We having some technical issues in this bitch.
Giggity giggity. Giggity goo. Stick around.
All right, let's try this now.
Clothing stores, which you could do that, I could do that. He doesn't own the store. Did I see a single photo of him giving a speech? Not one. Did I see a single photo of him orating or of him accepting an award
He's right
for
about
all
that,
of these
though.
amazing things he's supposedly done? Not one single photo of him giving a speech. Not one single.
I don't think he does public speaking or have public speaking engagement. So you're right about that. But is that his aim? But it is what it is. You are right about that.
Photo of him getting an award. Why? Because he's a sham, a scam artist, a charlatan. Huh? Why does this matter to me? I believe in young people, and I believe if they can get a good education, they can earn for themselves. So they don't have to ask the government for a stimulus check. They can earn for self. But they can't do that when they're being lied to by a charlatan like Kevin Samuels. You can never learn how to do something from someone who's never done it. He created a show called Lion's Den, which he ripped off the title from another show called Lion's Den that's about entrepreneurs pitching their ideas. But Kevin Samuels never has given a pitch of his business. How are you a business person if you never pitched a business? If you had, I'd...
All right, Crowned King. Join the Discord, hit the link, call up if you want to call up. But you're saying I definitely don't agree with most of what you say because you're definitely a misogynist. However, I like getting different perspectives from all sides. All right, well, that's a first one. A misogynist, me?
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
This for the bitches, nigga.
Crowned King of France, are you a guy or a girl? Answer me that question before we move on. Are you a man or a woman? Because we're going to have to ask some questions. You trolled. You want the spotlight. You got it. You may have not been ready for this, but you got it. Answer the questions now, fool. Man or woman? Who are you? We'll wait. Okay, so you're a guy. You just called me a misogynist. Substantiate your points, Mr. Crowned King. Do you have a girlfriend? Do you have a wife? Are you sitting somewhere in a dark basement? Yeah, we see man. It's a guy, man. Same shit, nigga. Get to it. Babe, can you get me a drink, please? I'm still waiting for an answer. Do you have a woman? We're waiting. No, I don't have a girlfriend. So a guy who's coming up here simping for women, coming on a platform. Thanks, babe. I'm a little closer. Oh, get your hand in the video, but it is what it is. You don't have a girlfriend, so what do you hear? You're calling a man who has a full woman, a whole girlfriend, who just handed me multiple drinks that I didn't need, just to prove a point. She doesn't have a problem with my rhetoric. Why the fuck does your bitch ass have a problem with my rhetoric? If she don't think I'm a misogynist and she's happy with the life that we're living, why the fuck are you on the panel calling me a misogynist?
Stop the cap.
Man, sit your dumb ass down.
We took it to another level. Yes, we did.
All right, let's get back into it.
Be able to see it online. I want to wrap this up by pointing out the following. How are you going to be a lifestyle coach when your entire lifestyle is pretending to have a life that you don't have? Think about this. Kevin Samuels is always in business suits trying to look corporate, but he's never been corporate. Look at his LinkedIn. He says that he's a keynote speaker. I have never said I'm a keynote speaker, but you'll see that I'm endorsed for public speaking 49 times. So when this guy says he's an investor, he's not an investor. When he says he's a business.
All right, Crowned King, because you're always defending fools like Fresh and Fit, you ate enough time out of the show. You're dying for attention. Hit the fucking link, pussy.
Man, there's no evidence of that. When he tries to dress up in these suits and these neckties and look all corporate, it's all phony because he's not corporate. He's never held a major corporate job. He's never founded a company. He's never even created a fashion product but purports to be a fashion expert. If I'm lying, please correct me. Now, on the other hand, if you want to get good advice from someone who's actually done business, my recommendation is, I'm not saying you come to me, I'm saying you go to someone. Because your path will be so much easier if you can find an expert who's actually had the experience and they can give you reality-based advice to make your path easier. I mean, after all, Kevin Samuels literally has videos about what kind of food you can eat to make your dick bigger. I mean, I wouldn't even think of researching that. I mean, it'd probably be a crime did eat food to make my dick bigger, I mean, I have to go to jail, you dig? Somebody call up Guinness World Records. Anyways.
Man, sit your dumb ass down.
Gay.
All right, you called him out for something zesty, and then you said something zesty as well, buddy. All right, so we're gonna get into the next video. All right, so clearly that crowned fool ain't gonna hit the link. The link is in the description, the Discord. But you know, you just want to talk shit from the comment section. Moderators, do your thing if you feel the need to. If you feel that, or you think that the show's getting derailed too much, you can modify his comments if you want. You guys have free reigns. Do what you want. We have the video of him speaking, the Saint and the Sinner, speaking about exposing Kevin Samuels, or not exposing, speaking about running up on Kevin Samuels, but he takes a picture with him. He's not obligated to do anything to Kevin Samuels. He made a video for the people exposing Kevin Samuels, letting people know what to or who to get your information from if you're going to conduct business. Hold on. And this is, goddamn, this shit long as hell. Pause. All right, let's get into this reaction. He speaks on meeting Kevin Samuels. All right, so let's get a consensus. Y'all seen the video he did exposing Kevin Samuels, Saint and Sinner. If you're Kevin Samuels and you've seen this video, which you have, it's the Saint and Sinner's most viewed video on his YouTube channel. If you've seen this video, are you taking a picture with Kevin Samuels, or are you looking at this video and being like, you know, it's his opinion, it's his take, fellow YouTuber will show support, will take a picture. One's in the chat if you wouldn't take a picture. Two's in the chat if you would take a picture. I did that backwards as hell, but it is what it is. Let's get into this while y'all hit up the ones and the twos.
This gold watch with the canary diamonds, yeah, that's handmade. It's a one of one. This Mandarin collar shirt, that's handmade. That's a one of one with the MDB on it. Oh, this fine blazer, that's also handmade. That's a one of one. These pants, those are also handmade. That's a one of one. But yeah, let us carry on.
Mr. Cambry said tuition. He said peace to the saints.
Peace to the saints.
Dante said peace to the saints. Advice on self-control.
Well, number one.
One on both sides, FYF Life says. Everybody else, oh, Black Hokage X, the only one that says 2. Everyone else is 1 right now. So none of y'all will take the picture. Black Hokage X said, I'm taking the picture because I'm not a bitch. Seems like the consensus is 1. But on the Saint and the Sinner side now, would you take the picture? Saint and the Sinner, if you would take the picture, say 2 or press 2. If you wouldn't take the picture as the Saint and the Sinner, let's go with number 1. Seems like everybody's more on not taking the picture for both sides. All right, I'm gonna let these roll in a little bit. Let these votes roll in. Okay, we got some 2s again. Black Hokage. So Black Hokage X, you're pretty much, you would take the picture on both ends. Ty, that's it. That's a 2 for Saint and Sinner. Taking picture with the ops, ... All right, I need everybody else's vote for Saint and the Sinner. If you would take the picture, it's a 2. If you would not take the picture, it's a number 1 for Saint and the Sinner. We need both sides so I can gauge. Reality Watch says 2. Okay. YouTube needs the clout. All right, so this is what we're gonna do now. Before we get into the video, everyone make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button if you're not already subscribed. Whoops. It seems like it was not favorable for Kevin Samuels to take the picture, but it was favorable for the Saint and the Sinner to take the picture. Black Hokage X says, yeah, because it's some internet shit. Nigga, not my real ops. All right. The Saint and the Sinner taking a picture with Kevin Samuels, all smiley. That is nothing wrong on the Saint and the Sinner's end. You did a video exposing him as a businessman, but Kevin Samuels is still doing well on YouTube. His channel's still doing well. It didn't compromise the show. You took aim at him as a businessman, and you brought your reasonings why. There was no real personal shots the way, some like low-level YouTubers will just take personal shots while trying to expose people for being frauds. But frauds in their business. He didn't do any of that. It was more business, why he's a better person in that industry and why you should seek. It didn't seem that personal. It seemed like an objective breakdown of why he is not who he says he is. Whether it's favorable to Kevin or not, it didn't seem like it was the video in it. The concept in it of itself could seem like it's malice because you're making a video exposing, but this is YouTube. This is fucking YouTube. He took the picture. There's nothing really wrong on the Saint and Sinner's side. Kevin Samuels' end, though. A man is taking aim at you, trying to expose you in a video, has 300,000 plus views, taking aim at your channel and who you are. I wouldn't be so quick to just take a happy picture with this guy. Like, we're going to have that conversation on air. Then you're going to get a picture. So on Kevin, that's why when people say Kevin Samuels took the L here, taking a happy picture with him, I could see the angle. The angle for Saint and the Sinner taking an L to me is ridiculous. What are you supposed to do? Punch Kevin Samuels in the face because you made an exposing video? I don't get that. You're supposed to run up on him and give him like I don't understand that point. Any shot at a man's integrity is fighting words unless you don't care about that. It's an opinion. You can say it's a shot at his integrity. It's an opinion. I gave my opinion on Tommy Sotomayor that wasn't favorable at times, but I also gave him credit and due props for where it was favorable. Tommy Sotomayor had no problem with my rhetoric. I don't know if that's a shot at a man's integrity. I think that's a shot at a man's finesse and his business. If you're saying he's finessing in his business so he has no integrity, that's an opinion. Let's get into it. I watched the Saint and Sinner's entire video. He sent an email to Kevin Samuels before releasing the video. That's some added context. So Kevin was cool with it. So neither of them would be taking an L. In that sense, it's really up to the audience to be like, nah, we don't rock with that. But personally, I don't think they feel any ways.
One, if you can anticipate, you can dominate. For example, we know there are certain situations that trigger a certain individual. So when you're going into that, you should be setting your mindset. That's the foundation. Then the second piece, if you become hyper-focused on your goals, you realize some things are out of line with your goals, and hence you shouldn't even touch them or deal with them. If you go back to that lecture I had on manhood, I talk about a situation wherein I was on a flight and there was a goofball next to me who was trying his best to trigger me. It didn't work because, it doesn't make sense for a wealthy man to slap around a poor man. And, I wouldn't want to be on TMZ doing something like that. And I realized that, beating him up didn't have anything to do with my core goal at that time, which was to get back home. So keep your eyes on the prize. You dig?
Ethan sent tuition.
Peace to the saints.
Laddie sent a super sticker.
Let's go.
Before the Billion said peace to the Saints.
Peace to the Saints.
Mitchell, he said, does anyone
Wait,
know
hold
where I
on.
can get the cape?
This nigga has a whole staff. He has a woman reading out the super chats, or is that just regular comments? Okay, let's get it.
We only have one cape left, actually.
Yeah.
It is size small.
Small.
Yeah, size small.
Did y'all see the thumbnail? Y'all see the thumbnail before y'all got in here? Tie that to ask. The biggest question is, why was it needed? Why was it needed? Was the video needed? Because it's YouTube. Because it's fucking YouTube. That's why in the title I put I hate YouTube, because this is what YouTube is. It's everything for the views. You can be cool with somebody and you're just releasing a video exposing them, and the views go up, and their visibility goes up, and the crowd's just watching thinking there's a real problem, and meanwhile,
We have been hoodwinked, bamboozled, led astray, run amok, and flat out deceived.
Heads up or permission, I'm not sure. It could have just been a courtesy. Who knows? Everyone operates differently on YouTube.
Like a light brown color.
Yeah, so
Sandy brown.
Yeah, $60 cash app.
Indeed.
Like that.
And that is the very last.
This is your favorite word to say.
Balmain Cody.
He said, would you drink with a businessman if it meant a $10 million deal? Peace to the Saints.
No. And let me give you a quick note on that. One thing there are a lot of things you guys don't know about me. And just a comical side note is that I really only tell you 1/3 of what I actually do.
All right, my bad. Pause. We're going to get back into that. Maintenance says he pulled up way too late. Kevin said something over a year ago. Said something to address Saint and the Sinner. I don't know Kevin to address people specifically, but I would like to see that. I didn't see that. His suit reminds me of couch designs from the 90s. The disrespect.
Just so you can hate on that 1/3. Shout out to Cat Williams. What you should understand is that
Shit getting out of hand,
I'm a person driven by principle, of which there are very few. That's why it's hard to understand us.
Nope.
For
I
example,
understand.
I was invited to do a dating show. They flew me out to Hawaii. Once I got on the ground there, the producer explained to me again what the compensation would be, which I want to say it was $3,000 a day. So I'd be making $3,000 per day, and all I would be doing is surrounded by beautiful women, living in a mansion, getting myself more famous, and I'd be making a financial killing. Then they sent over the therapist to speak with me, because everyone who goes on reality shows, you might not know, they are assessed by a therapist. They do a battery of tests, sexual disease tests, psychological assessment, criminal background, etc. So then the therapist comes over to me and he says, hey, Marquette, based on your profile, I understand that respect is very important to you. Integrity is very important to you. I want to let you know that during the course of this show, there will be times in which, we might suggest things have happened that have not happened. For example, we might leave women's underwear, right outside your door in your bedroom and take a video shot of that to make it seem like you and one of the females had a physical engagement. So I just want to let you know that will be occurring. And then
Reality
I said,
shows
right
ain't
then and
shit.
there, I said, book me a flight back to LA. And they did. So basically I would have been getting $3,000 a day. What's that, like $90,000 a month? I'd have been there for 2 months. I'd have bagged up $100,000 and with millions more in potential, because as you know, they see that kind of charm on TV, the offers would have rolled in. So I would have had way more fame, way more money, easy money. And I'd have probably been taking out some bad females and had some experiences of the lifetime. I turned that down because to me, principle is everything. So if I go a whole lifetime without having a single sip of alcohol, you think I would have a sip of alcohol for 10 million stinking dollars? Absolutely not. It could be $1 billion.
Hey, Ethan Bear.
We don't care. Let me tell you, we don't care.
Yeah, I fucked up. I didn't realize that's what the question he was answering. I thought that would tie into something relevant to
Peace to the
the
Saints.
topic. Let me fast forward the fuck out of
The
this.
Americans
These are all super chats. My bad, y'all.
here who some
She said, peace to the Saints. What goes
Nigga getting bread though. Jeez.
are
$99
not good at
super
thinking.
chats.
And a part of you think you know how to pursue.
All right, let me fast forward the fuck out of this, man.
So what's that, about a year and a half piece of the
Jeez,
Saints, and let that be
25
my
minutes of
legacy,
bread.
that
Good job, nigger.
there were men who strive to be great, strive to be remarkable rather than average.
We have Jose said peace to the Saints. It's a conference on the 22nd and 23rd of next month. Next month is April. Yeah.
Indeed.
And then there's, of course, a person without a name or picture who said,
All right, let's fast forward
Keys,
this.
were you
My bad,
around-
y'all. I didn't
Yeah,
do. My bad, y'all. I did not do the work and chop this up and give y'all the goods straight up. We doing a lot of work out here.
What more do you want from me?
Blunt Talk with LT episode 161 will be out tomorrow on Blunt Talk with LT. I did not do the work, so we're gonna have to do it live. It is what it is, man. It be that way sometimes.
And by the way, when you see me in real life, I take fades. Yes, sir. And as she said, I run up on 4 grown.
Black Hokage X says, comment section should Google who he is. This man is wealthy in real life. Well, he has business reports and articles that he showed that's Googleable. I thought that would have provided a little bit of insight, but you know, it is what it is. You see the super chats coming in. Money talks. People support his brand. People support his platform. But then again, you see those same type of super chats coming in for Kwame Brown, so...
What?
Sometimes it may be good, sometimes it may be shit.
Men, like, let's get it in. I'm really what I say, little buddy. So pull up in Saint City. We could get you tuned up. Carrying on. So let's go ahead and see this very first video that started it all. And let's do a little bit of fact checking real quick. Because I think it's strange the way people reacted to this video. And I want you to really be a student of human nature right now. Understand human nature.
Esteban and Marquette, the barber, giving out fades for days.
In a real way.
And real quick, Mitchell did cop the boxing.
Oh,
shoe.
hell no. This is what he does? Ah,
Right side
fuck.
shoe.
Yes, sir. All right.
We just reacted to that video. I could have saved the time by watching it in this react video, but we're gonna skip forward. I definitely want to. Oh, $100 super chat. See this nigga getting bread out here. So, but I want to see where he actually takes the picture and his breakdown of the actual picture, because all this shit is just the old stuff he spoke in the past, and we already covered that, so we're not gonna do that again. So let's just zip through this long live stream. All right, what do we got here? That's part of the video. There we go. Right here. This is what we want.
Thinking. And always know that a character like me, I'm fairly unpredictable, but if you follow the philosophy that I articulate, that will help you better understand my moves. And it's important to understand my moves because I'm creating a path for successful men to walk down. I'm making your path easier. But let's check out some.
The only other video I've seen from the Saint and the Sinner was a panel-like discussion. It was kind of like a Fresh and Fit type setup where there was a bunch of girls there, and it was him and another guy. And I was like, oh shit, this is like another Fresh and Fit. But then I didn't see it again. That was the only other video I seen. But I only seen a few minutes of that too, so it is what it is.
These comments. I thought these comments were very, very interesting. Here we go. Oh, and by the way, if you're wondering, like, did Marquette let Kevin Samuels know he was going to do this live session? Absolutely. I sent him a note. I sent him the time. And of course, if he was interested in joining on, he could have done that. That was presented, just for the record. Well, I actually put the wrong day on here. I put live Tuesday.
That's maybe why that.
My old boy said Tuesday. Yeah. Anyways, so here's a photo of Kevin Samuels and I when I pulled up on him in Saint City. You dig? And we're going to go through these comments. And by the way, if anyone else has any other explanations of how we ended up meeting up, go ahead and send it in by your super chat, Cash App, or PayPal.
There were some haters earlier saying Photoshop, but it's a live photo. Like he's speaking in the photo.
Yeah. Also, for those dim-witted fools, you can look at my story on Instagram or look at my story on YouTube, and it has the video of him saying, oh, look who it is, right? So, anyways, and also I'm not a Photoshop kind of person, and that's why it's ironic to me that you have people who basically will follow anyone. They find the one guy on the internet who's actually real, and then they accuse you of doing things that are fake. It's just strange. So strange.
Before you start, we have Alex said best place to find an app developer currently working on a wireframe for an app that will help people with social media addiction. Peace to the Saints.
Peace to the Saints. Firstly, I would recommend you get a consultation, because anytime you're going to create a business, you want to make sure that the business model is sound. And I surmise that the business model and what you're creating might be altruistic, your outcome, but I do not think the business model is sound based on what I'm hearing. And I would just like to preserve your time, energy, and capital. Secondly, you have to ask yourself, when you're looking for a developer, am I looking for this developer for the purpose of just getting some work done?
Yo, shout out to the chat section, y'all.
Shit getting out of hand now.
Or do I want this developer to join my team so that we can raise a round of finance? Those are important questions. And so you'd be wise to spend a little bit of money up front to get a consultation with an expert in the short term so that you can save money in the long term.
Indy said, peace to the Saints. What to say if a girl asks to be exclusive?
If you want to be exclusive, say yes. If you want to keep it player, say no. That was an easy one, huh?
God damn it. Let's get into the
right.
picture.
There's not much why am I pursuing this?
All right, man.
I saw the saint in the center chilling with Kevin in the thumbnail and immediately clicked.
Oh, true indeed, right? It's a mystery. So let's take a quick look at some of these comments, because I want to give a little bit of critical perspective, right? You guys always get to look at me and make comments on my stuff. Let me make some comments on your stuff. If I can make that even bigger. There we go. The YouTube video bashing him. Damn, was I bashing him? Was I? I don't know. What you think? I mean, I was stating the facts for sure.
Okay, maybe I should actually listen to this stuff, because he's going on.
I'm confused. Well, that makes sense. You should be confused. That's why it's such great click rate, because you should be confused. And then Captain Blockman writes, why? Because he made a YouTube video bashing him. Damn, was I bashing him? Was I? I don't know. What you think? I mean, I was stating the facts for sure.
Yeah, people can't handle the truth.
And I was having some fun with it too. I ain't gonna lie. Dans of Dans writes,
shout out to Carlos. Keep up the good work, bro. Shout out to you. Respect for the super chat. Oh, hold on. There we go.
Damn, son, where'd you find this?
I guess they squashed it. You can't squash anything if it's not beef. Now, here's another thing to consider. And I really want you guys to think about this. One thing we can never take from Kevin Samuels is that, A, he is wise. He is wise. I know he's wise. And he's smart. And those are two different things. Wise comes from experience and observation. Smart is intellect, may have something to do with what you were born with at birth and some of the cognitive abilities you've picked up. And undoubtedly.
All right, y'all. Bear with me. We having some lag. I'm going to get rid of this real quick. Make this quicker.
We got to give that to Mr. Samuels, because he did the wisest thing you could possibly do.
Carlos,
when I roast you. When I roast you, best thing you can do is sit down and shut the fuck up. Best thing you can do. Because there's not anything you can say back. You know, it's like if Debo come and he wants your chain, you pretty much just got to give it to him. Unless you Craig, shut the fuck up. Best thing you can do. Because there's not anything you can say back. You know, it's the wisest thing you could possibly do when I roast you. When I roast you, best thing you can do is sit down and shut the fuck up. Best thing you can do. Because there's not anything you can say back. You know, it's like if Debo come and he wants your chain, you pretty much just got to give it to him. Unless you Craig. And most of y'all ain't Craig. So he did the wisest thing, which is to be silent. And that was very strategic on his part. And he knew that he wasn't going to win going into war with a warrior. So he played it silent, and that's very wise. So shout out to him for making.
Now,
Damn, son, where'd you find this?
this part right here. Would y'all not have a problem with this? Kevin didn't do anything aggressive, so it gives him all the access in the world to say, oh, he couldn't, because if he did, then it's like someone trying to talk to Debo when he's taking their chain. That's pretty much what he said here, right here. Kevin didn't say anything because he's wise, because he couldn't. It'll get bad for him. Basically saying Kevin didn't want the smoke, and it was wise for him to not want the smoke. In that regards, when people say Kevin took the L and they hear stuff like that, as a man, you don't want another man just shitting on you like you can't defend yourself against this man, like he's above you. As a man, I don't give a fuck what type of policy you have with taking the high horse and not being confrontational. If someone's confronting you and then they're seeing you in person and they're shitting on you like that, you have to have some pride as a man at that point. Because all that, oh, I'm not going to do anything, I'm going to be so passive with it, it leads him back to the internet, back on YouTube, back in the same domain where he exposed you, but he told you about it prior, and now he's saying things like this.
Cub and he wants your chain. You pretty much just, I roast you. Best thing you can do is sit down and shut the fuck up. Best thing you can do, because there's not anything you can say back. You know, it's like if Debo Cub and he wants your chain, you pretty much just got to give it to him, unless you Craig, and most of y'all ain't Craig.
If you don't get that bullshit out of my face, bitch.
Nah, I'm like 50 in that regard. I take on all comers.
So he did the wisest thing, which is to be silent. And that was very strategic on his part. And he knew that he wasn't going to win going into war with a warrior. So he played it silent, and that's very wise. So shout out to him.
I'm not having that. I'm not having that. Kevin, you need to do something. You need to respond. Kevin, you need to do something. Like, you can't respond because it's wise now. I don't know much about the Saint and the Sinner, but I operate on principle. I don't care who you are, my nigga. We don't care. Ah, that button's too far. Let's just get into it.
Shit getting out of hand now.
For making that chess move, and that was for damn sure a chess move.
Keandre said, Cash Happy said, peace from a saint. I will catch this later today.
Peace of the Saints.
Yo Fam says, with that quote, son doing too much. It's facts. With that quote, he is doing too much because now he's buffing up his chest and trying to shit on Kevin. But hey, if you're easy to if you're gonna be that passive and you're not gonna address anything and you're gonna allow it, people are gonna do what they want to do. And yo, what the fuck is with this goddamn green? Hold on, y'all. I hate the green background. This shit annoys the fuck out of me when I see it. All right, there we go.
And another thing I want you to understand, when you say squashed it, Kevin Samuels never made a video about me. Kevin Samuels never did anything publicly in disrespect or in criticism of Marquette Devon Burton. So there's no beef in that sense. There were some behind the scenes power plays that were, go at work on both of our sides, and that's to be expected. But, there's no beef. So there's nothing to squash.
I'm very glad he said that. This point right here.
Power plays that were, Samuels never did anything publicly in disrespect or in criticism of Marquette Devon Burton. So there's no beef in that sense. There were some behind the scenes power plays that were going on. There is a lot of behind the scenes power plays going on with this YouTube shit. I'm not going to break the fourth wall in that regard because then I'll have to really bring out specifics and go in on things, and I'm not doing that right now. But there is a lot of behind the scenes fuck shit going on with a lot of YouTube creators. That's why when I took my moment to call people out, I did. But you got to bring all the facts to substantiate your claims when you call people out. That's why I don't even waste my time until I have everything to substantiate my claims, which I did last time.
And we might end up doing that again because there's all sorts of behind the scenes fuck shit. But, you know, we ain't crying about it. We just, sometimes you got to illuminate to the people. This is what's happening. That's why you see people do a one subliminal shot and then they move passive like their hands are clean, but you really know what's going on behind the scenes. But let's get back into this.
We're, go at work on both of our sides, and that's to be expected.
Hold on, y'all.
But, there's no beef. So there's nothing to squash is what I'm saying. Now let's get back to the analyses of the fans and what they're talking about. Someone writes, well, this was unexpected. Peace of the Saints. Indeed, it was. Someone writes, man, S-H-I-T. It is civilized to make peace, but there's really never any war. Someone writes, yes, sir, black men winning together. I mean, in some level, that's true. If you follow the ism, I don't really promote the, hey, we're all black thing, because when I was in the hood and I caught beefs, well, it was mostly black people that I was catching the beef with. You dig? Or when I got jumped, it was mostly black gangsters trying to jump the big homie. So like all of this black stuff doesn't add up because culture is broken down so much, especially within the African-American culture, that being black doesn't mean anything anymore. What does mean something is what you believe. And I don't care what color you are. Because consider this. Today, you can find what used to be black culture, like hip hop music. There's more white rappers than there are black rappers. So is it even black music? Who knows? So
Stop the cap.
There's not more white rappers than black rappers. That was a stretch.
Say that to say this. Today, you are linked not by your skin, you are linked by your values and your ideas. And that's why we spread this ism worldwide.
Hey, Indy said, appreciate the ism. See you at the conference. And this is the one person I do not have your email. I've emailed all the attendees.
Yo Fam says he contradicted himself when he said there was no beef, then turned around and said KS wasn't going to do shit. Bruv, what are you talking about? Why would you need to do shit if there's no beef? But I guess because of the video, man, I don't know, man. Let's get back into this. Damn, he just roasted Jessica. Yeah, I think he was going live combating whoever reacted to his video about this or whatever. I don't know, man. It's hard for me to make a judgment on this because there's a lot more to Kevin Samuels, Saint and Sinner's relationship than we know. So it's hard for me to get a clean perspective of what he's talking about in that regard.
So if you could send an email to support@marquettism.com so we can reach out to you.
Caught him.
Okay, we have History sent $50.
Baller alert.
The Peace to the Saints. I've been following for about a month now, just soaking up as much game as I can as I try to upgrade and improve my life. Paying what I owe. Appreciate all the game, Saints.
Thank you. Peace to the Saints. That's a very sincere.
We're not supposed to be doing that. We're supposed to be reacting to the real
young Jock,
questions,
his intelligence, his wisdom, and above all, the platform that he.
This shit.
First off, you dumb individual, I was wearing a lavalier mic, which means the microphone is right below my neck. So yes, of course you can hear me breathing, you goofball. But in terms of physical fitness, your boy could run through a wall. So why they out here hating?
Right. Someone wrote, is there video online?
Ooh. He said he called her a trans. She won't show her face because she's a man. From what I know, I don't know much about Jessica X. I just seen her on Tasha K's channel. Tasha K, when she roasted Tasha K for not keeping it a bean and caping for that girl that punched Tommy, and Tasha K hung up on her. That I know her from that. A few panels that she was moderating on, but he's right in the regard that she never shows her face. It's always a picture that she's never on video, so he's right there. Trans, we don't know. We don't know what she is, but that's why you leave it open for interpretation if you don't disclose or there's no video.
And some person, of course, without a picture, without a name.
Shocker.
Says there's no video shaking SMH using not even like proper terms. I have all the full videos of every boxing match on my phone from start to finish.
Right.
From when the bell rang till they
Did I
announced
skip
the
over
winner.
some of that?
And I am undefeated.
Correct.
And I've won all of my bouts either by unanimous decision or by corner abandonment, which means they threw.
So he was a boxer too? That didn't update? Jeez. Nope. Yo fam says, is that Siri reading his super chat in the background? I think that's a real girl, a real life girl in the background. Your super chat didn't pop up on the screen. We're having some malfunctions right now. Yikes. It is what it is, man. We working through it.
In the towel because their guy was getting washed.
And there's a belt upstairs.
And there's a belt upstairs. And let me tell you something even more crazy about it. Every time we show up for our fights, do we ever show up with a trainer or a cut man?
Just you and I.
I show me and Bridget right there. Like, I don't need a trainer. I don't need a cut man. Like, let me throw these hands and I'm a dip. That's how we show up.
And we travel for them.
Yeah. So it's like, stop the hating. You look foolish.
Okay, we have Raquel said, I was wondering how you catch people in Saint City. You must have some good intel when they touch down, but this might be better left a mystery piece for the Saints.
Well, thank you for bringing that up because I was on the topic list. And that's why I said, number one, when I say I'm the mayor of Saint City, believe that. Check in when you show up. Now, if you're a nobody and you pass through the city, yeah, you can sneak in and out of here. But here's the thing. If you have a name, tap in with me when you come here. And that's smart on your part because I'll probably do you a favor. So I say that to say this. I'll tell you guys a story of when
Shout out to Carlos Rodriguez again with the super chat. I'll make it accurate. Yeah. That's facts. Good logic, sir.
Perfect.
when how Kevin Samuels and I end up in the photo. So I'm going on about my regular life. I get a call. Peace to the Saints. Peace to the Saints. What's happening? Hey, I just want to let you know, I just saw Kevin Samuels is here at fill in the blank location. So you want to pull up on him? Oh, absolutely. I do want to pull up on him. Like, yeah, he's right here. And if you need me, I can hold him up a little bit. No, don't do that. Where about is he? Oh, he's right here. He's heading to this other spot. Cool. I'm down the street. So I was at my suite down the street, a couple like institutions down. So I went, had valet bring the whip up. I hopped in the whip, went to this other institution. I walk in and I see Kevin Samuels walking out as I'm walking in. And now we don't know what he was thinking. I'd be sincerely curious to hear what he was thinking. But long story short, he's walking out of the Bellagio. I'm walking in the Bellagio to meet him. And the funny thing is, number one, I don't follow anything of his social media or anything like that. And there's no disrespect. It's just that that's not my thing. I'm not into social media and internet stuff. So anyways, he's walking out of the Bellagio and I was walking in to meet him. So when I saw him, I walked straight to him. I said, hey, I owe you an apology. I made a video about you. And I said, fill in the blank about you, which is an abomination. And until that's verified,
What?
I said, hey, I owe you an apology. I made a video about you.
Jesus Christ.
Are y'all as confused as I am? Do y'all know why I'm confused?
And I said, fill in the blank about you. And to meet him. So when I saw him, I walked straight to him. I said, hey, I owe you an apology. I made a video about you. And I said,
You owe him an apology. I made a video about him. So you apologized. But you said that it was smart for him to take the high route when someone roasts you, or when you roast somebody, because no one wants that smoke. But you apologized.
Stop it. Get some help.
Come on, man.
All right, I'm gonna give a little grace and listen a little bit more. Let me give it a chance here.
Fill in the blank about you, which is an abomination, and until that's verified, it's not proper to spread that about someone. And I want you guys to know that there's certain insults that you go overboard in, but especially in line with the ism, there's certain things that we consider very low. To say someone is guzzling Skittles when that's unverified, that's foul. You heard me? Like, don't accuse nobody of that until that's verified. That's too low. That's too low. So I said, yeah. And he said, I know. And I said, okay, well, we had a couple words about some other things. And he was like, yeah, man, we should connect while I'm out here. He says, I'm in this room. I'm in the penthouse. And I said, oh, okay, that's what's up. Yeah, me too. He's like, oh, you're staying here? I was like, yeah, I'm in the penthouse here. Now, mind you, this is boss talk, because he said he's in the penthouse at the Bellagio, which is like, yeah, I'm bossed up over here. Now, mind you, I came from a different resort. I came from a penthouse in a whole different resort, and I pulled up to the Bellagio. He was like, yeah, I'm in the penthouse. I was like, yeah, me too. I got a penthouse here too. Now that hit different because I live in Las Vegas and I got a penthouse here and at the other spot I was at. That got to hit different. You heard me? It's real boss talk out here. So anyways, he was like, yeah, I got a penthouse here. I was like, yeah, I got a penthouse here too.
We don't care.
He was like, okay, cool. Well, I'm in this room. So he told me his room number, like, so I could, give him a ring. I was like, all right, for sure. We're gonna link up. That was pretty much, most of the conversation. Then after that, I went to go meet one of the Saints for lunch. And then I told the Saint, I was like, hey, I was just hanging out with a best friend of mine. He just came in town. He's like, oh, who's that? Yeah, Kevin Samuels. He was like, oh, he's like, you know what? I saw on his social.
Best friend of mine? Hold on, did I hear that right?
And then I told the Saint, I was like, hey, I was just hanging out with a best friend of mine. He just.
How do you do that? How do you do that? What the hell is going on?
That was pretty much, most of the conversation. Then after that, I went to go meet one of the Saints for.
Oh shit, we got a super chat. Nope, didn't update. Jesus Christ. All right, Yo Fam says, shit. Is one thing you ran into KS on the street at a venue. The fact you have to leave your telly to get a valet, or leave your telly, get valet to pull your V. Bruv, that's groupie vibe. Jeez.
For lunch. And then I told the Saint, I was like,
All
hey.
right. Shout out to the chat section. Shout out to everybody that left a super chat. I got to give this a second, y'all.
Come on, man.
These systems, man. I don't know what's going on. I have too many things to open real quick. Let me adjust some things real quick, y'all. My bad, y'all. Was I on mute when I said that? Y'all heard me though, right? I just had to. Whatever, man. Fuck it.
I was just hanging out with a best friend of mine. He just came in town. He's like, oh, who's that? Yeah, Kevin Samuels. He was like, oh, he's like, you know what? I saw on his social media that he was coming to Las Vegas, but I didn't want to. With a best friend of mine, he just came in town. He's like, oh, who's that? Yeah, Kevin Samuels. He was like, oh, he's like, you know what? I saw on his social. And then I told the Saint, I was like, hey, I was just hanging out with a best friend of mine. He just came in town. He's like, oh, who's that? Yeah, Kevin
Come
Samuels.
on, man.
He's like, oh, he's like, you know what? I saw on his
Hey, man, I don't now listening to this furthermore because I didn't get this far into this reaction. I just
Have been hoodwinked, bamboozled, led astray, run amok, and flat out deceived.
your best friend Kevin Samuels. The more I hear that, I'm just like, what? Is that why you ran downstairs to make sure you got that picture with him? But then it just makes this whole YouTube thing look like, what are we doing here?
social media that he was coming to Las Vegas, but I didn't want to tell you because I figured you just don't care. I was like, that's true. Like I, for the most part, don't care except like when people like him come in my city, like they need to tap in, which is let me know you're coming. And that goes for everybody. You're coming to my city. If you are somebody, let me know you're coming. And especially in the case of Kevin Samuels, like there's obviously no beef and we don't know each other up until this point where we had a formal acquaintance. But obviously he had.
Maybe it was sarcasm. Yeah, it was definitely sarcasm at that point, and I read into that wrong because I don't get this. You don't know him, but best. Yeah, that definitely was sarcasm. I didn't pick it up.
Seen the video. We all know he's seen the video. Somebody makes a video about you and it's well over 250,000 views. You've seen the video. And that's why when we were talking, he said, oh yeah, I know, which is obvious. So he's like, oh yeah, like I was going to mention it to you, but I figured you.
Hold on.
I was walking in to meet him. So when I saw him, I walked straight to him. I heard me like, you don't house at the Bellagio, give him a ring. Let me know you're. I want to tell you because I figured you just. He just came in town. He's like, oh, who's that? Yeah, Kevin Samuels. He was like, oh, he's like, you know what? I saw on his social media that he was coming. I was like, hey, I was all right,
right
for
here.
sure. We're gonna link up. That was pretty much, most of the conversation. Then after that, I went to go meet one of the Saints for lunch. And then I told the Saint, I was like, hey, I was just hanging out with a best friend of mine. He just came in town. He's like, oh, who's that? Yeah, Kevin Samuels. He was like, oh, he's like, you know what? I saw on his social media that he was coming to Las Vegas, but I didn't want to tell you because I figured you just don't care. I was like, that's true. Like
Yeah, it was one of his Saints, so they got the sarcasm. I didn't get it. Let's
talking,
go.
he said, oh yeah, I know, which is obvious. So he's like, oh yeah, like I was gonna mention it to you, but I figured you didn't care because you don't really mess with him like that. I was like, nah, you for sure should tell me who's coming in the city. I was like, but yeah, my people called me up. They told me he was moving through, so I pulled up on him. I was like, okay. And then I followed up on DM like, hey man, like you need anything in the city, let me know. I am the mayor out here. Tap in next time you come through, which I really mean. Tap in next time you come through. And I saw a nerd in the comments say something like, did you keep the same energy? There's no beef. There's no energy to be had. You see, if there's a beef, there's no conversation. There's no photos. When my people called me like, hey, you want to pull up on them? I'd have been like, nah, but I'm going to have somebody else pull up on him. You feel me? Like, if his beef is serious, like, we can get the job done. But there's no beef. So here's the thing. That conversation was very cordial. It was very civil.
To keep it a bean, I don't know. TG's kind of confused right now. Carlos said, nah, I think he was talking about somebody else, not Kevin. I'm confused. I'm going to leave it alone. I'm just going to leave it alone and move on to the next point he makes.
As you would expect it to be based on who he portrays himself as and based on who the big homie is. It's very civil and very cordial, as you would expect. And I think he too found it funny. Now, here's the thing that I would be wondering. If I were him, when he saw me pull up to valet at the Bellagio as he was walking out, and he saw me hop out that foreign, and he saw me walk straight to him, of course he had to recognize me, right? What was going through his mind of like, how in the hell did this man know where I'm at? And this man not only know where I'm at, but when I'm there and get here right at that time. Like, if he thought that was coincidence, he ain't thinking. But I don't think he thought that was coincidence because, as I said earlier, he's wise and he's smart. And wise, intelligent people don't think things are coincidence when they're obviously not coincidence. But that was the story of how we met. And I was like, man, this is hilarious. I bet the people would be entertained to see this. He was like, yeah, that's right. I was like, let's take a picture. So I was taking a picture and he was saying something. And I was like, okay, well, let's take a video. So then I took like a short video. He's a very cordial, friendly guy, which is what I expected him to be. And further, even if he's not a friendly, cordial guy in real life, like if you come into somebody's city and you're walking out of a resort and they happen to show up right where you are right at that time, you should be cordial. Like I would be cordial because I'd be thinking, damn, like they got the drop on me. Like they didn't call me out here naked. Like I'll be thinking, like, how did this happen? So yeah, of course he's gonna be cordial. And I was cordial too, because there's no reason not to be cordial. Never disrespected me one time in his whole life. So why wouldn't I be cordial? So when you hear goofies saying things like, I hope you kept the same energy, like, come on, bro, knock it off.
There's a goofy in the chat saying, I heard Mark.
In his whole life. So why wouldn't I be cordial? So when you hear goofies saying things like, I hope you kept the same energy, like, come on, bro, knock it off.
There's a
Silence, you fool.
That's you have to have a little bit of self-awareness and understand what you're putting out on the platform. When you make an exposing video and then you say comments like you did in this stream, like it was wise for him to not do anything back because you just got to pretty much take it, tuck your tail and take it. It's very convoluted. Of course, people will be like, what type of energy are you going to have? Because it seems like, what is this? I'm not sure. Are you taunting him? Are you antagonizing him? Or are you just, what are we doing here? TG says, that sounds fake.
goofy in the chat saying, I heard Marquette got knocked out in Vegas last week.
Doing what?
I don't know.
That's crazy.
No name, no picture.
I've never been knocked out in my entire life, like my whole life. And that includes the streets and boxing. And that includes being people jumping me, like actual like Samoans jumping me. I've never been knocked out in my whole life.
Ken is back. He sent 90 pounds.
Matter of fact, I've never even been knocked down. Just so you know, like actually, no, I did get knocked down. I got snuck one good time. One good time. You read about it in the black box.
Yeah.
Okay, Ken sent 90 pounds earlier. He sent 90 pounds again.
Baller alert.
He said, when is the next
90
event?
pounds.
Where can I find information about upcoming events? A London event would be great.
So the next event is the conference, which is sold out.
When he was describing the behavior, and TG says it's describing being fake, that's YouTube, man. This whole YouTube shit, a lot of it's like the entertainment is fake. Do you deem yourself being compromised by participating in the fake entertainment fuckery cycle of clickbait and things that are going to do views when you know it's just for the platform and there's no real problem behind it? I don't know. I'm struggling to wrap my head around this one. This one's kind of confusing to me. It really doesn't seem like there's a problem. But the way he kind of taunts him, it kind of seems like he's buffing there to be a problem. Like he's kind of like, to me, it seems like he's trying to, there's no problem, but he's trying to sun him at the same time. That's what it seems like to me. It's like there's no problem with Kevin, but I'm up here, he's down here, I'm the real deal, he's a fraud, but we cool like that. If you need any help, tap in with me when you get into my city. It kind of seems like a little bit of that. But if Kevin has no problem with it, then it is what it is.
I also am thinking of doing a movie night for the members that are near.
And if he did have a problem with it, I'm not here to cape for Kevin Samuels. That's one thing we're not doing out here. To make that clear to everybody, we're not caping for nobody out here.
Bye. It'll be on a Sunday, probably be right after dark. And so that's in the works right now.
We have Baby Vegeto is back again and says 50 Cent versus Ja Rule was beef. This was a full-on massacre. Going to handle some business. Blessed evening, Saints.
Peace of the Saints.
We have Michael who actually sent the was beef. This was a
50 Cent versus Ja Rule was beef. That was a massacre. That wasn't beef. That was very one-sided. But okay. This was full-on massacre. Gonna handle some business. Blessed evening, Saints. She read that, but I'll read it as well. Like we can hear her voice, but I'll say it as well. This right here, this is one of his commenters. He didn't denounce the comments. When they say something like that, I'm gonna keep it a bean. I think he played Kevin. I think he's playing the people that see right through it. I think he got the one up on Kevin here. Because he's still kind of taunting and talking like he roasted him or like he won the beef or this was a massacre. It seems like that.
And that's why when you see the big homie moving throughout the world, you see the connections manifest by the treatment that I get, the favors that I get. That's power. For example, when Kevin Samuels came to Saint City, I didn't even know he was here until I got that phone call and the homie said, hey, Saint said, hey, I see him right now. You want me to slow him down? You want to pull up on him? Which is basically saying, hey, I work in this institution. I'm giving you privileged information, and I would go out of my way to make sure that I could set him up for you to knock him down. Power. You establish power for a lot of different ways. Sometimes it's favors. Sometimes it's fear. Sometimes it's love. A lot of different ways, but it does take time, hard work, and integrity because people have to be able to rely on you to be what you said you are. If you said you're a bully, you really got to get your thug on.
Can we let haters on screen if they're willing?
Oh, we got one?
Yeah, there's a guy that said you'd get washed by an MMA fighter. LOL. Like a real man uses the term LOL.
I know. What a weirdo.
Fake tough dude. That's how
Oh.
you get your onion peeled on the strip. And then he followed up.
All right. I think I'm gonna wrap this up here. There's a lot left. About 50 minutes left. You know what? Let me skip ahead a little bit and see if there's anything
Small.
else here.
Hundreds of times you witnessed it.
Calling you.
City lost. You throw hands. The man said what he said.
We have
I'm gonna keep it a stack with y'all. Yeah, like TG says, anyone that calls me a fraud, there's no friendly conversation. The fuck. Yeah, he's going out of his way to make it like he's turning the knife a little bit after he stabbed him. As much as he's trying to act like there's not anything here, he is consistently sunning Kevin Samuels throughout the stream.
What we're willing to do moving forward.
hey, Michael's back again.
See what else we got
Influencing global culture. See you soon, Saint. We would be.
Listen, I'm gonna wrap it up here when it comes to this reaction. I don't know the Saint and the Sinner. I don't know him, but I don't tell on myself. A lot of the things he was doing there towards the end, it's that you're telling people who you are and stating that proudly, but you don't want to step on the line of telling on yourself. You don't want to Vlad TV yourself out here. But I'm gonna keep it a bean here. I think he gave Kevin an L. I don't think it's a big L. I don't think it's a big deal. But Kevin has to hold the L here. The man made an exposing video about you and then tried to clown you and continually talk down from a higher position. I don't know. The exposing wasn't the end of the world, though. It's not like it's something going to take away from Kevin's platform. So, not a big deal. I would consider this a minor L for Kevin. A sleazy W for this Saint and Sinner. Because there's a lot of throwing rocks and hiding your hands in this W. There's a lot of posturing up, but not really committing to the whole posture. Oh, I'm this guy. No one's really fucking with me. But there's no beef. There's no this is that. Like, there's a lot of sunning and a lot of that weird shit there. So I'm going to wrap it up here. Make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you hit that subscribe button if you're not already subscribed. We have a lot more breakdowns on the way. Episodes of Blunt Talk with LT on the way. Make sure you hit that subscribe button over on there on that channel. Share the videos that you fucks with. We trying to grow the platform out here. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Y'all made it a great show. Join the Discord if you want to get into further conversations. And we have our panel discussions on the Discord. So join the Discord. It's in the link in the description. Yep. Pretty much. Yep. I'm going to wrap it up there. We out.
I'm about to add that hoe out.
No way.
We out. Yeah.